This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare.
Hello. I'm so glad to be here today. We have a brand new intro. Thanks to Blake. Thank you so much, Blake, for making that. That was incredible.
Thank you for adding the brilliant TV effect to it.
It was really
brings
fun.
Brings it all together.
I think it really sets the tone for today's episode. We're going to cover some really great movies that say they're based on real events. Thank you for joining me, Blake and Sabrina. Sabrina, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Blake, how are you?
I can't complain. Sabrina and I watched a horror movie in preparation of today's episode, so we're ready to dive into it.
Awesome. And hey, everyone in the chat, we're so glad that you came back to hang out with us. This was a topic I was really excited to talk about because who doesn't like a good scary story? And what kind of brought it up was I was watching a few videos about The Fourth Kind and how they heavily marketed The Fourth Kind as a true story, and they went all the way with it. Did you guys watch that one by any chance?
I have not. I remember the trailer growing up very vividly, but I never got around to watching it.
What movie is it?
The Fourth Kind. It's a mockumentary.
It's also an alien movie, and I know aliens mess with Sabrina. She didn't want to watch Fire in the Sky.
Oh, Fire in the Sky is so good. So good.
We're going to watch it at some point.
What was the one that I watched that
movie or alien episode in the future, so I'm going to make her watch it then.
We do have an alien episode set up in the future, so it's going to be really fun to
Can we just talk about Dark Skies and then call it a day?
No, we'll talk about a few scary alien movies.
No.
If it makes you feel better, I'll be sure.
That's scary.
I'll be sure that we get to an episode that particularly gets under my skin too. So we will be on the same level, Sabrina.
Okay. Because I don't want to be like the only one that's added for this.
It's gonna be fun. But and at least in the case of of The Fourth Kind, it's one of the worst examples for this because they actually got sued because they faked everything. First of all, second of all, they got to the point where they faked real news companies' articles to support their claims. So that's kind of what led me here. And you guys watched a few movies to dive into this topic. What movies did you cover?
I think the most famous one that falls under the based on a true story category is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We watched the original and the remake, essentially back to back within 2 days. I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of arguably the best horror movie ever made. Absolutely. Sabrina did not like it. Did not like the original.
Okay. I will never knock a horror movie because it's horror. But that seems a little. I kind of disagree with. I think it's better.
I agreed with her points though. If you want to get into why you didn't like it,
hit me with them. I'm ready.
So I kind of said to him, I was like, it's a very well made, filmed horror movie, but I'm trying to think how to say it. How I said it to you, Blake.
You said that you thought it was a very well made movie, but not a very enjoyable one. Like you said, it was too weird. And I agree with that.
The plot wasn't really, I don't know.
It's a heavy movie, and you went in expecting it would be like a straight up slasher, which it is kind of marketed as such.
I think also the fact that it took the first two people to die was so quick. And the remake, they kind of took their time a little bit. Half of them didn't die right away, so I was like, okay, that's cool. Because when half of them are getting sawed to death and everything, or killed or caught, I was like, what's gonna happen for the rest of the movie?
Right.
It was very quick, but the remake took its time a little bit better. So that was also the pacing was a little bit better because some of the stuff happened a little too quick.
I mean, it's called one of the best horror remakes for a reason.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
true. Texas
Yeah.
Chainsaw, it comes up a lot when it comes to Texas Chainsaw because it's such an iconic series, and a lot of the sequels and the remakes kind of set you up for a different thing than the original was in the first place. And it's a talking point I get to every time I talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh my god. And it's very much a product of its time as well, because when that came out, no one saw anything that was like, that kind of gritty realism that they tried to push with
Yeah,
Texas
like anything
Chainsaw.
like that.
Yeah. It kind of falls under the same category of Blair Witch, which is like a heavy, like, if you don't kind of click with it, a lot of the time is you weren't there in the moment to kind of like have the full on experience. Did you guys look into what Texas Chainsaw was based off of?
Yes. I always knew the story, and that's what freaked me out about the movie. I agree that it had a documentary feel to it. The way Chainsaw the original was filmed makes it seem very
real,
documentary style.
Very like kind of that's.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
I was gonna call it a raw movie, and I feel like calling it a documentary really helps sell. That.
Raw is a great word for it.
Yeah, especially with that camera flash effect that has become a staple for the franchise. It's a grisly movie.
There's just I don't know. There's some shots that like. So I know back then it was like, because it was made in 1973. So like sometimes like when an older movie and you're watching it like years later, sometimes it still holds up. Some parts still did, but some of it I was like when she was running was a little much. I was like, okay.
Running is a little much back in the day. Growing up, I always knew the story behind Texas Chainsaw, so I got to dive back into that by explaining it to Sabrina. That she's like, "Is there a Leatherface? Like, did a bunch of kids go to this house and get murdered?" And
I remember actually like hearing about it. So I was like, "Okay,
like there's a Leatherface."
I heard it's true, but apparently, like, I feel like I have to ask Blake now because like I kind of was one of those people that was under the impression that like even Paranormal Activity was like kind of real too, but like apparently it's not. So now I'm like, I feel like I don't know anymore.
Well, that's their intention, is to make you think that it's real by doing those fan footage style movies. Yeah. Like Blair Witch is the OG example of that.
Oh, we have to talk about Blair Witch. I can talk like I can do an episode just on
that
the way
deserves
Blair Witch
its own
marketed.
Episode for sure.
Ooh, maybe we can do Blair Witch and Cannibal Holocaust because they have similarities with the way they were marketed.
I actually just watched Cannibal Holocaust for the first time.
I'm so sorry.
Sabrina was interested, and I'm like, I know they kill real animals in this movie. You're not going to watch that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I didn't watch those. I skipped through the movie a lot.
I don't like movies
where
this call movie, me lame. I just don't like when animals die in movies. Like I can't.
You're not lame at all.
No, I hate it.
I was in school and I watched Of Mice and Men when the dog gets shot. I literally walked out of the classroom and didn't say a word. I was like, I don't care.
And
if I get in trouble, I'm not watching that.
Between just killing off an animal in a movie versus killing animals in real life for the movie. It's
that's even worse. Yeah.
Since we're touching on the subject, sorry, Blake, I'll go right back to you. I just wanted to tell the story real quick because it's kind of related because Cannibal Holocaust had this whole like it was a real thing going on at the time too. I watched that movie in high school for the first time after being warned hardcore by my uncle, and my best friend in the whole wide world was sitting there watching it with me. And they were at the time vegetarian, huge animal lover. The turtle scene happened, and then we were like, "That's not real, right?" No, it's not real at all. We found out after watching those scenes that it was real. It was a hard time. It was Cannibal Holocaust.
I can't watch a turtle. I have a turtle. I can't do that.
There's more. There's like 5 different animals they kill in that movie.
I distinctly remember the turtle scene.
The turtle's bad. What was it? Was it a monkey and a squirrel?
Jesus, yeah, it was a monkey. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a monkey.
Was there a horse?
I don't think there's a horse.
Okay.
It's not a bunny or a squirrel. It's some small cute animal that they kill pretty brutally, and I'm like, this is disgusting. Like, I don't even see the point of, like, I know what they were going for and why they included it. I just don't think it was necessary.
I don't know if it was it The Exorcist where they had the whole marketing for like people are passing out in the theater.
And they did that for Evil Dead as well. That they had ambulances parked outside the theaters for that.
Man, that's a
The Exorcist, I believe they said they hired
a
priest to stand in the theater for that movie, which, I mean, that movie's scary on its own, let alone the lengths they went to sell it.
Absolutely. So you guys watched Texas Chainsaw. What else did you watch?
Yes, this morning we watched The Exorcism of Emily Rose,
Oh,
which
nice.
is very appropriate because we have a Scott Derrickson episode next week.
I'm so excited to get into that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so this is actually one that I haven't seen on that list I gave you. I couldn't get to it. I rewatched Strangers. I rewatched Texas Chainsaw. I went over a few Alien movies, things like that. So, hit me with it. What was this like for you guys?
You want to sum it up, Sabrina?
It was intense. It was like a lot.
This movie,
and,
it takes a really real approach.
Right. Okay.
And it's like, I think if it was just a straight up like exorcism, like movie like The Exorcist, like it'd be like just like a horror movie. But I think what still makes it like realistic is like when they had like the court case in it. Oh, because like they kind of kept flashing back and forth of it. Because I was like, if it's just gonna be like the court case, that's like a little weird.
It started out very boring. I think we both agreed on that.
Was
I
this the
was
one
like,
that they
all
used
right,
real
so
audio?
she's already like
No,
dead,
they didn't
then, like,
put the
what's
real
the
audio
point?
in it. They put
yeah,
the
she
real
starts off
audio
already,
in
like, dead. And then they kinda-
Conjuring 2? Is that the one?
Okay.
There's
so.
one, because the real case, if anybody here watches BuzzFeed Unsolved, they covered the real case that this movie is based on, and they play the real audio, which is genuinely one of the most chilling things I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
But,
it is intense.
They don't in this movie.
Okay, cool.
They like show the reenactment of it as opposed to playing the audio. So we lost Sabrina.
No. Well, we'll pause on Emily Rose and let her continue doing the breakdown when she gets back.
Mm-hmm.
So, were there any other ones that you watched? Because I watched Strangers again, and Strangers. I don't know if people are gonna like my Strangers take.
We tried to watch The Strangers. It wasn't streaming anywhere, and I think next week we're gonna rent Sinister. So we were waiting for that. Again, in preparation
Sorry, my
for
Wi-Fi cut out for a second.
She's back.
Yeah. So let's go back to Emily Rose. Sabrina, you're breaking it down for us. I'm super excited.
I think the thing is like what Blake said with the realism is that because they showed the court case, so like it was just heartbreaking because like the whole time they're obviously trying to prove that why she like how and like why she died, and like there's that defense that's like, oh no, this is like because she's epileptic and like all these like scientific reasons where it's like
anorexic.
Oh,
what?
Jesus.
And anorexic.
Yeah, like all these stuff, and or it's like okay, like I get it, but like because me and Blake were both discussing, it was like there's still things that they still couldn't prove, and that still apparently wasn't enough for them to believe. And like, which I get because it's something so absurd, but it like just because it's absurd doesn't mean like it didn't happen.
Right, of course.
There's some things they can explain, and some things that you watch them explain. It's just like that's a reach.
Yeah,
like,
they're reaching very hard, and it's like, how do you know that?
They tried to argue that she used two different, both of her vocal cords because two different voices talk at the same time, and they're like monks would learn to use this, and I'm like, well, she didn't learn to use it.
Or like,
I'm sure it takes monks
to like reach the fact that she like learned a language in high school or something. Where it's like, why would she just randomly speak German or something?
Yeah, German and Latin and all that.
Especially Latin, particularly. That's not.
Oh yeah, it was. They had the tape recording, like they played it in court, and the priest read the letter that she wrote like the day before she died, and like they still were like, nah, and I'm like.
Oh no!
I was literally said, I was like, if I was on the jury and I heard just like those two like demonic, I'd be like, that girl's possessed. I was like, I don't know about y'all, but like she's definitely possessed.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
If you listen to that audio, I think it sold me on it years ago, and I was like, that's real. I hated that.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like if everything else is like scientifically proven, like that's fine, but like those two were like definitely, I think would have been proof enough.
Right. Okay.
Because not everybody has, the proof. Because that stuff is of course hard to prove. But like, he had physical proof. And like even like she had. So one of the things was, she like went into a field and like she's in like her letter. She said that she saw the Virgin Mary and like they basically like gave her a choice. She'll go with them now, or like continue suffering. And she chose to like continue suffering to like see it through to like so they could see if they can get the demon out of her body. And like she had like wounds on her hands, and they're like, oh, she self-inflicted that, and it's like, and like they were saying like on the barbed wire, and it's like she didn't do that until after, like as the defense lawyer was like saying that, and I was like,
Yeah.
Like half the stuff he was saying, I was like, if I was there, I was like, smack him.
And he was mean about it in the movie. Like he was straight up
pissed me
mocking
off
the priest.
so bad.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pissed me off.
It seems like a pretty intense movie. I remember it was Conjuring 2. That was the about the real audio, because Conjuring 2.
Oh, that's right. It does.
It freaked me out. That's the Conjuring movies are another one that I did another look over, because Ed and Lorraine Warren, and it kind of goes over their history, and I just find the two fascinating in their real studies or investigations, I should say. Do you like the Conjuring movies?
I
do.
Okay.
Long story short, I enjoy them greatly. It's just, especially with the first two Conjurings, I think are the perfect examples of how to adapt real life horror stories. Because they do take the idea and they take the real people, but they still make them enjoyable movies. Like, they play up the haunts and the ghosts. They give them freaky designs where it's like, this is a fun movie. And they still keep true to the real cases, like Amityville Horror. They touch on a little bit, and
which was cool to see. I wasn't expecting that. That was a cool thing to see.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch that.
they're pretty. They're respectful to Ed and Lorraine Warren, who have been criticized a lot given their time. And have they both passed away?
I believe so. Lorraine might still be alive. I'm
I
pretty
feel
confident
like she might have just recently passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I think those movies, they carry those movies.
Oh, absolutely. That's why
God.
Annabelle didn't work for me.
Yeah, I didn't love the third Conjuring, but their chemistry is just, that's what kept me interested the whole time. And the way it ended, I was like, I love them. I didn't love this movie, but the first two are fantastic.
I like two. I loved one, but two was the first one I saw in theaters.
Me too.
It was so much fun. I watched it. It was around the same time I was working on my first movie set, and like the crew went to go see it together, and it was a really cool experience, really cool moment. I think it was really, really incredible horror movie. It's kind of like one of the standouts when we get to this category, because there's a lot of movies that have the tagline based on real events that just come off as so cheesy or disrespectful, or they just kind of like lean on that so hard they forget to actually make a movie, which is why I love The Conjuring.
And we didn't even bother watching anything like The Haunting of Sharon Tate.
Oh my
It's
God.
a real murder and brings a supernatural aspect to it for no reason.
That movie, I will go on record saying that movie really grosses me out, and like not in like, oh, that was so gross.
Really?
Like, that's an upsetting thing.
I kind of want to watch it.
It is probably one of the most disrespectful movies that I've seen.
Really? To her?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
they
yeah.
make it a ghost story.
It's like the entire family of Sharon Tate were like expressing how upset it made them. There's a lot.
Yeah, I don't want to support that then.
There's a lot of issues with it. There's a lot of issues with it.
I know that director made another movie like that. Like his next one was another disrespectful take on someone in real life, I believe.
Yeah. It's not fun. We'll have to maybe we'll go over that one day just to like kind of get it all
dive into the politics of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Seth Morrison. I'm basically spot on for how I feel. I love The Conjuring 1 too. I just can't really get into the spin-offs too much.
The Nun really disappointed me because that trailer was really good.
That was
Annabelle Creation, I think, is the best of the
Annabelle
spin-off.
Creation was good. I will give them
that
that.
was good.
I didn't like was it Annabelle Comes Home, where it was kind of like a spooky house.
They tried, like they had a werewolf in there. They played around with things. I don't think any of those ideas worked, though. It was a little too much.
Goosebumps situation.
Yeah, and the stealth
much.
spin-off, The Curse of La Llorona.
Oh, I forgot about that one on purpose. I didn't want to remember that.
Yeah, no, they tried to loosely connect it to The Conjuring, which, first of all, that was another weird choice to do, because it's just, there have been a few movies based around that legend, and it's just like, it's a good story. Why would you want to connect it to this larger franchise that's juggling their own story?
I don't know. But yeah, I have never seen that before, especially on horror. They never, ever, ever do that. Not Hollywood.
No, they wouldn't dare.
They wouldn't dare. No, absolutely not. Tons of care with all these stories. There was one actually that I remember watching ages ago that came up again. It has Elizabeth Olsen, Silent House. Did you guys ever hear about this one?
Oh, I think I said like I wanted to watch that today.
That sounds familiar. I think she brought it up this morning.
Yeah,
I was
because it
looking at
plays out
other
in real
like
time.
true story movies because I was like, oh, what else could we watch? And then
Because she was not having it with The Right, that movie with Anthony Hopkins.
Oh my
or
god.
Fire in the Sky.
it kind of like that one sounded a little boring to me. I was like,
Right.
no. I was like, if you want to watch it one day, like let's like wait to watch it like together because I was like, I don't want to.
That's valid. That's
I understood that. That's why I was like, okay, then Exorcism of Emily Rose then.
I really want to watch The Strangers because even though I've seen it like a bunch of times, but like I just like that movie, and it was not streaming anywhere, so I was very upset.
It's just a good movie.
I adore you both. So don't hate me when I say this. I don't like The Strangers. I know.
I can understand that because I feel like that's the same reason. I'm just assuming Sabrina doesn't like Texas Chainsaw Massacre because I like The Strangers, but I would not call it a fun movie.
It's just.
I mean, it's not supposed to be a fun movie. It's a slasher movie, but like people invading
at the same
someone's
time,
home.
I watch horror movies to have fun with them, and I think that movie is.
That's true. That's true.
rough.
But that's like also. I think that's a little because it's like based off something true, where it's like it's not supposed to be fun because it's just like a real life event that happened.
So, I was been preparing for this. It makes me so nervous to start talking about it because like The Strangers is such a beloved horror movie.
No, go ahead.
Oh my
No,
gosh,
you're gonna
Kayla,
upset Sith Morrison. It's in his top 10.
Oh no, Sith, please don't unsubscribe. So Strangers. I remember when it came out. I remember it came out because my mom was super freaked out by it. Super freaked out by it. When I remember her talking to me about it, and like, I get why it's scary. I get why people love this movie. Don't get me wrong, I understand. But for me, it wasn't so much that it was rough. It just felt dull. It felt dull. It felt dull to me. It felt like it fell a bit flat. I guess the characters kind of more so annoyed me than felt fleshed out and felt interesting. And the story didn't really grab me. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan. I enjoyed the concept. I enjoyed the setup. The atmosphere is really cool. But as far as like, horror movies that really freaked me out, not so much. A fun fact though, I went ahead and looked into what the movie was even based on because I found it really, really interesting. So I'm into true crime. I like it. I like reading it behind what goes on and why and all of that. And it was actually based on the Sharon Tate murders. Mm-hmm. Is what they based it on, and they based it on that and some break-ins that the writer had as a kid, and that kind of made
Strangers?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, that's how you play up the a real life crime.
You take the crime itself.
Oh no, I thought it was an actual like event, like a famous event of like somebody like literally getting killed.
It's kind of a mix of some famous events.
Like I didn't know it was like just like a famous like murder like that, like like a bunch of different things like Texas Chainsaw, like like most of the movies being like about that one killer. But okay, okay, that makes more sense now. I thought it was an actual like event that it literally happened to somebody.
To like two random people.
Yeah.
I got you. Well, I mean, like the idea behind they took what's scariest.
I'm kidding.
They took what was scariest about not scariest about the Sharon Tate murders. This is such a sensitive topic. You guys know what I mean. Mm-hmm. The idea of just being attacked in your home just because you're there is horrifying. And they took that and adapted it to his childhood, which had break-ins in his neighborhood, and kind of like built something from that. And the idea is super scary, but the movie itself just never really like had that punch for me as it did others. I really wish it did. Strangers, that's my hot
that's why
take.
I wasn't expecting to like change that in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like I was like, oh no, I was like, I really gonna have to like watch her get murdered, and like they were like, no. What?
Yeah, I was surprised that movie actually got some backlash for the changed ending.
I'm pretty sure
I think that
family
change ending is like one of the best things ever. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I would have hated if he didn't change it. It's supposed to be an alternate timeline where, things didn't end so poorly.
At the same time, the same group of people were mad that Tarantino killed off Hitler in Inglourious Basterds because that's
then we
historically accurate. Yeah, he works with alternate realities, and I think comparing those two, this one was a heartwarming ending where her life was saved.
Yeah,
of course,
I think if
that's
it was
not
like, even though
what
that's what happened
happened,
in
but-
real life, I don't think like most people would not complain about having to see that.
I like his alternate timeline endings.
Oh my god,
personally.
yeah, I would
really,
not
really
want to
do.
see that.
Yeah,
Man,
they made it a fun ending.
I love that movie.
iconic.
It's not for everyone. It is very slow paced. It is very, it's a day in the life, character driven story. But man, I love Once Upon a Hollywood.
Well,
movie.
so I'm not. I feel like I've never told Blake this, or like I feel like I probably have, or if not, I'm not a Tarantino fan. My dad likes his movies. This is the only movie I really like from him. Because they're just not my taste. My dad likes them. Yeah, I really liked that movie. I liked the ending. But like the one girl that has like the knife that falls in the pool, they like recreate that. She was in Scream and they recreated that in Scream. And I was like, I fucking
really
love
great.
that.
Oh my. Oh, you know
that.
what? Now, I'm so glad you mentioned Scream. Scream is semi-based on an actual murder that happened.
Yeah.
Yes. And a murder, I think, happened after Scream 3, I believe.
Oh,
one of my
yeah.
friends
I
was
feel like I
going
heard
over.
that.
I don't know if it's the same one.
Wait, do you know if it was the one that afterwards or before where the phone call of right after they murdered her was recorded?
It might have been that one.
I mean, let me just go over and search.
Yeah, you go over, because I do know the details of the one that's rattling around in my head.
But Scream is one that people don't talk about a lot. I will say that I try to do an edit for like all the trailers that say based on real events during this, and man, there's so many movies that I didn't even realize used this marketing ploy.
Yeah.
I guess it was definitely an era.
Oh yeah, I remember, because it had to have been
like mid 2000s, right?
Mid 2000s, because I remember on TV when I was really little seeing like a really scary trailer. I'm like, it's just a movie, and at the end they hit you with that based on a true story, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, because it was like, oh my god. Haunting in Connecticut, you had Emily Rose, you had Silent House, you had Strangers,
Strangers,
and on and on and on. And I guess it's kind of a bygone era since we have the internet now, and you can't really use that ploy as easily as you once were, because people just
you can just one Google search, oh, it's not real, cool.
Yeah, but I hope we see some kind of revamp that fits the that kind of thing, because I think it adds a lot to these movies. I really do. I really think it sets your mind for when you're watching it and you're getting into it, and kind of like brings you into the immersion. I can say like Paranormal Activity didn't have that marketing play, but if they did, I would have believed it 100% when those movies are coming out. That it works. It's the one of the things like with found footage. Why found footage works when it does is because it really brings you into that world. Genuinely, I'm still googling the thing.
Yeah, I think it's called The Scream Murders.
Let's see, Gainesville.
Yes. In 2006, 2 Idaho teens murdered 16-year-old Cassie Jo Stoddard.
I think that's the one I was thinking of.
Is it? Yeah. And Scream specifically inspired them to do that, because I think they hid in her house while the boyfriend was over, and I think when he left is when they did that. So, which is
pretty terrifying.
I think they spent some time scaring her before they stabbed her to death. Like it was literally the end of the first Scream, which is pretty terrible. And especially when these movies are like, oh, the movies don't inspire serial killers kind of thing, when
sometimes they do.
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah. Wow. So there was a murder in the 80s that kind of semi-inspired Scream. What you talked about was the one I was thinking of.
Oh.
Excuse me. But when it comes to this topic, I think it really just kind of shines that reality and art and movies, they kind of coexist and they take from each other all the time, really.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So did you guys watch anything else?
I believe when it comes to the real life horror ones, that was about it.
Okay.
No, but what else did we watch recently besides all the Texas Chainsaw? Was that it?
Yeah. just Texas Chainsaw Emily Rose. I
Well-
briefed her on some of the other ones.
Right.
I
Right.
feel like there's like one more that we're missing.
I don't think any of the real life ones.
So, okay. So, geez, I can get into Fourth Kind if you're interested, Sabrina. You can dive in. Get
Is
you
it the
prepared.
is that the alien
It's
movie?
the alien one.
It's PG-13. She'll be fine.
It's look.
I don't care. I'm pretty sure like ET's PG and it still scares the shit out of me, so it
Really?
doesn't matter.
It's cute. He's a cute little guy.
He just
Just
wants
a
to
little
go
bit.
home.
That's what awakened my fear of aliens.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
It's like bad. Like when
Yeah.
my mom was like obsessed with ET, and like I used to have like dreams he'd come abduct me, and like now I'm like scared of him, and I don't think
Yeah.
he's cute at all.
Mine was Signs, which is I'm sure that goes for a lot of people.
That
Have you ever seen Signs, Sabrina?
No,
Don't watch it if you don't like aliens.
I mean,
Don't do it. I'm
Dark
saying
Skies
with
kind
love.
of screwed me up. Oh, that and like I mean, it's like technically like alien robotic thing,
Yeah.
but like War of
Right.
the Worlds. The sound gets me.
War
That
of the
freaks me
Worlds is
out.
iconic.
I hate that
It
sound.
is.
That triggers my fight or flight like bad. If I were here, I'd be like, oh my god, like we're under attack.
There are there are a handful of scares. Like I can count on one hand of scares that stuck with me as a kid. And one of the scares I distinctly remember watching for the very first time was a scare in Signs that
Mhm.
would like shook me to my core, shook me to my little 6-year-old
The
core.
footage on the news.
Wait,
yeah,
what
the
is
birthday
it?
party. It's in Signs. It's terrifying.
Are you able to pull it up?
I can. I don't think we'll get copyright strike. I hope not.
If we do, we'll roll with
Why
it.
must y'all do this to me?
Just beat your sound. It's
No,
fine.
but like, so like a part of me is like always like I'm gonna be scared, but the also part of me is like always curious about things. To like, I don't know, I'm weird. Like sometimes I watch things, I'm like this probably scares shit out of me, but I'm just gonna watch it anyway. Or
That's
like,
why I'm
curious about
surprised
it.
you wanted to watch Cannibal Holocaust, and I'm like, no.
It's my
You're not gonna
curiosity.
enjoy it.
It's my
I know,
ADHD
out of
curiosity,
curiosity,
and I'm like,
but-
no, I don't need to watch them. Be traumatized.
I'll tell you, you're not gonna like it.
I know
There.
I'm not, but like my curiosity is like, but
I'm not gonna lie to you, Sabrina. Just letting you know right now, just Googling and like pulling this video up has me like nauseous. I have avoided it for so long.
It's not horrifying. It's just the sheer like realism that it looks like a genuinely real footage of someone catching an alien, which is what makes it so chilling.
It is such a fun time. We're having so much fun today.
am I gonna throw up? if Jayla's nauseous, am I gonna puke?
Look, it's fine.
Maybe.
We're gonna get through this together. Okay, cool. So we're gonna get spooked together, chat. We're gonna take a detour. I did not mean to do that. We're gonna take a detour. Thank you. And to aliens. And we're going to see how this goes. A little early preview for next month. Yeah. Let's
Mhm.
see.
So we'll make a
okay.
return on that episode.
Whew, here we go.
Oh,
You got
okay.
this. You got this.
We're okay.
We're fine. Can you hear? Hang on.
Is that Joaquin Phoenix?
Yes, it is.
Brazil. It was sent to the local news bureau there and sent to us via satellite just a few
Love
minutes
him
ago.
though.
Mhm.
Opinions are this is-
Maybe we should find some B movies that we can watch on stream together.
We're gonna have some fun watch parties for sure.
I hate this so much.
Like, here it is.
Wait. Oh my god. Wait a second. I think I've seen this video. Stop it.
Probably have.
I'm gonna puke. I don't.
Is it the one I think of?
It
Is it
creeps
the
me
one I
out. It
think of?
really does.
Oh no. I can feel the fear.
Move, children. Vámonos.
Me
I love
too.
him.
No.
No. Oh god.
Yeah, I knew that would get her. Dark Sky is kind of fucked her up for a couple days.
I thought it'd be like like that famous clip of like an alien on like a roof. That's what I thought it was from.
Yeah. I'm so glad to watch Stranger Things. Later on this month, we're going to do a pretty special Stranger Things episode. So
It's giving me a minute to restart my heart.
Signs is an amazing film. It's so well made. It's such a good alien story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
It is
god!
good.
Oh my god!
We're gonna watch
So
it.
yeah, it's honestly, Sabrina, the story itself is really good.
Do you see like aliens a lot like that?
Towards the end, yeah. Honestly, you got the scariest part out of the way.
That was the scariest part, I promise. That was like the worst bit. The rest is smooth sailing.
Oh, forget about
Arguably, the
it. I'm gonna still
twist
get
kind
scared
of
it.
makes
Huh?
the movie a little easier to digest.
Oh yeah, for sure. When you figure out the twist, it brings you a lot of comfort.
Then you can laugh with the movie.
Mm.
So that was fun. Sabrina faced her fears. I'm so proud of her.
That's right. Now we're gonna watch E.T. We're gonna watch Alien.
No.
She's
I-
wanted to binge the Alien franchise lately anyway.
It's
That
good.
doesn't scare me because they're cool looking.
I'll give you that.
Well, they are cool looking, but they terrify me. But I do love.
I mean, they're
the
terrifying,
alien
but like,
story.
they're such like they're probably the like coolest. Like,
Easily one of the coolest designed
you
characters.
know what I mean without spoiling it. It does. It does. You understand. You're not. Yeah. I don't want to spoil it for her.
No.
I know. I
what
think
for me.
I think an alien story. I do. It's one of the ones that creeps me out the most. I would arguably say that they creep me out more so than the possession stories.
Which one's scarier? That one, like for like alien, like more freaky for like an alien movie. Is it this one or like the one you wanted to watch today, Blake?
Fire in the Sky. Probably Signs, because Fire in the Sky is mostly just like telling you of an alien abduction. Signs is like you are living the alien invasion.
It just depends, I think.
I mean, also Fire in the Sky is based on a true story.
Yeah,
and Signs is not.
Yeah, for sure. Fire in the Sky is a really good one, though. But
I
it's
do
more
think-
documentary
We can watch it
feeling.
tonight if you want.
Yes, I mean, I think the one alien scene in Fire in the Sky is scarier than the entirety of Signs. That is just my opinion.
Absolutely.
That is just my opinion.
And you
Uh,
wanted to make me watch that today?
I still want to make you watch it.
Why
It's
would you
worth
do
it.
that to
It's
me?
worth it.
It's a
worth
great
it.
movie. What's funny is that scene with the aliens, it does really stick out because that movie's pretty tame. And then you get to that scene, you're like, oh my God.
It's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn.
Which when you compare something like that to what Fourth Kind did, it really it's a very stark difference. If you don't know, Sabrina, Fourth Kind opens up and she comes out and she's like, listen, all of this is real and reenacted footage, and we're going to show you the real footage with it, which they fake the real footage too. But
Wait, like saying that like what their life they're living right now is like all footage.
like I'll just show you the intro real quick, the little trailer, and you'll get the idea. Because
Yes,
now I'm, like,
Sif Morrison, she loves Alien and Predator.
I do.
Yeah, Signs is where she draws the line.
Because it's actual aliens. Like, I don't know. They're not trying to come.
I know. Predator and Alien look cool, and the aliens and Signs are more like...
Realistic.
I remember distinctly when I was a kid, and I was super freaked out from that sign scene. My dad's like, "Don't worry, Jayla. It's just an uncolored Spider-Man suit. You're fine." And that's how he tried to explain it to me.
That's actually a better way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got
Thank
the
you.
eyes
Thank you
and
for that.
everything.
Actually makes me feel a lot better.
Shout out to my dad. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Jayla's dad.
Yeah, he helped Sabrina too.
I'm going to get him on an episode one time, at
Yeah,
least.
just like tell him thank you for me that he helped me.
I will. All right, so I have the Fourth Kind trailer pulled up, which is a smart idea since you haven't heard of it or seen it, Sabrina, because this is a fun time.
Okay.
You're
I feel
good.
I'm excited too. I want to
try
see
to scare
this.
me. Oh jeez.
Oh God.
Can you state your name for the camera?
Dr. Abigail Tyler.
Oh my god, I've seen this.
Chapman.
No, I have seen this.
You've seen this movie?
I'm actress
Oh my god, yes, I've seen this. I hated this movie because it freaked me out so
Tyler.
bad.
This film is a dramatization of events that occurred
It really
October
did freak me out,
2000.
too.
Every scene in this movie
I thought
is
everything was
supported
real. Oh
by
my god,
archived
footage.
footage.
I thought it was my
some of what
brother.
you're
My
about to
brother was
see
watching it, and I like
is
came in to
extremely
hang out with him,
disturbing.
and I couldn't like stop watching it, and I was so freaked out.
Yeah, you don't look at owls the same after this movie, do you?
There's
No,
nothing
I don't.
unusual waking you up.
There's one thing.
This
There's an owl
scared
at
me.
my window.
Yeah.
Especially the ending. Oh my god.
Oh my god, yeah, it's very true. There was a jump scare in this that made me jump off my couch and run to my room.
Well, yeah, I wasn't expecting like any of that. I was like, what?
I've seen it a lot.
Oh
Every
my
night this week.
god. I see, like, now that I forgot the name of it, but yeah, okay. Yeah, my brother, I was watching it. I watched it with my brother, like, I think
Based
maybe a
on
couple months ago,
actual
actually.
case studies.
Yeah, so if you want some peace, they faked every piece of information in this movie. There is no case studies.
No, this freaked me out because I thought this was this wasn't real?
Nope, none of it.
I thought it was real. That's what freaked me out.
That's what
Well, they did lie to you.
They put a lot of effort into lying to you.
It still freaks me out because that
No,
could
it's
still
still
happen. I don't
freaky
care.
for sure. I mean,
I
they
don't
did
care. I
it.
still believe that could happen.
Oh, I mean,
it has happened if you believe fire in the sky.
it's just this particular, like, these people and their stories. All of that was
There are more missing
not
people than any
real.
other town in Alaska.
I have to get this out of my head.
So we're never going to Alaska.
Oh,
I mean-
once we watch 30 Days of Night, you'll never want to go.
You will never want to go to Alaska at
What's
all.
that about?
My favorite vampire movie.
We have to have a vampire episode.
Oh. Also, 30 Days of Night is based on a comic book. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Someone.
Wait, what's it based off of?
A comic.
I don't know
And we're
Is
gonna watch it.
yes. No, I know
that.
exactly
I have
what
to
you
agree
mean.
to everything Blake wants
It's
because
true.
he's watching my movie, so it's fine.
It's
We
very-
compromise.
That's good compromise. It's very good.
He's gonna watch High School Musical with me one day, so whatever he wants to watch, I'll watch.
Which means you're gonna watch 30 Days of Night. Thank you, Seth Morrison. It is a great movie. I don't think anybody really ever talks about it when it comes to vampire movies. Flies under the
Oh
radar.
god, no.
I don't
That-
think we're going to cover Morbius for our vampire.
Yes, we're gonna talk
episode.
about Morbius.
Oh god, because that
I
means I have to
haven't seen
watch
that movie.
it.
I don't really want
Are you
to.
telling me Jayla and Sabrina aren't fellow Morbheads?
I mean, I will.
Don't say that ever again, please.
Yes, I am a total Morbhead, but also I think I want to preserve its greatness by never watching it.
That's
yeah,
not
or maybe like wait like 5 years and be like, wow, this is not. This is like still really bad.
It's a
It's just-
movie.
It just came on Blu-ray. We'll
It
have a
took
movie
me like
night.
5 years.
That could
to
be our
watch
first
Venom,
watch party.
and I
Morbius.
watched it, and I was like,
Oh my god. Actually, you know, you might be onto something.
I didn't
Jake.
even do it on purpose. I just kept forgetting about it. And I was like, you know what? I was like, let me watch Venom. And then I was like, I was so afraid to. I think I remember like I like tweeted about watching it, and I was like, if anyone wants to know what I think, just DM me because I don't want to get like attacked.
Oh no, I was very vocal about my response to Venom. If it makes you feel better.
It's not
Like,
good.
Like, look. I understand why people like it. I get that. I get the logic there. It wasn't for me.
No.
It wasn't for me.
Okay, so I think the second one's so much better than the first one.
Mm-mm.
And like people at my job are like, oh no, the first one's so good. I'm like, no. I'm like, no.
I don't know.
I'm like, no.
I feel like they have a lot of they could have played up with a lot of like tense aspects of the character. I mean, he has his like dark humor in the comics, of course, but I feel like we just kind of like had this like nude version of
The
Venom.
plot was also like better in the second one because like I feel like even in the first one it was like all over the place.
They are a series. They are a series. It's a series that's happening currently, and
I mean, if I'm curious to see how the third one turns out. So I know me and Blake are gonna see it. Like I wasn't gonna really see like Carnage, but like Blake was like, I really want to see it, and then I'm not gonna lie, experiencing Carnage, him saying it in the theater hit different. So
It'll never hit the same again.
that was an experience. That alone is like why I pulled that movie because I was like,
Let
that
there
was
be
good.
carnage with the lightning strike
And we
on top of
screamed
the
it.
church.
I was like, oh my
come
god,
on.
it's so
It
good.
was such a fun movie. I will
I
always
just-
stand by
Fun
it.
movie.
I
I also like Woody Harrelson in it. I don't care. He was a highlight.
I wanted to love it. I did. I really did. It just was a mess for me again. It bums me out, man. It really does.
Do you have any hope for the third one? Then you're like probably like, no.
It's going to be the same. If you don't like the first two, you're not going to like the third.
I don't think they're going to drastically change the formula at this point. I'm still going to watch it because
They're
I have no
successful
time.
movies. They will
Yeah.
not change this.
No, but I mean, I don't know. Anything could happen.
Spider-Man could show up. We don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
I highly doubt it. He
we'll
could.
see.
He's legally
No,
allowed to.
Morbius is gonna show up instead.
I don't know, guys. I just
They probably would too.
I don't need to see
Like,
a
here's
Venom
Morbius, even though nobody wants
team
him
up.
back. Here he is.
I really don't.
It makes no sense.
I'm good. I will just, everyone's having a good time. I don't want to ruin anyone's good time. So I'm just gonna just vibe. Gonna go watch
Morbius. I can't.
Yeah, man. I don't know. We'll see. But 30 Days of Nights does sound fun. That does sound fun to cover.
Love that movie.
Maybe that's like the movie that like Morbius tried to be.
Oh,
Morbius tried
Morbius
to
wishes it
been.
could be 30 Days of Night.
Morbius wishes it could be 20 Days of Night. It was a lot.
Morbius lives on.
Morbius lives on. You guys are gonna make us
Stop
do a
it.
Morbius episode, and I will never forgive any of you.
When the inevitable sequel comes out, we will cover
There's
Morbius.
no way they're actually doing Morbius.
If it gets a
sequel, right?
sequel, we'll cover Morbius.
Yeah,
No,
all right,
not.
I'll do it. If it actually gets a sequel, we'll do it.
You guys can cover yourselves. I ain't watching.
Morbius
No,
2, it's Morbin
Sabrina.
time. No, we're all in this together. Which
It's
means you have
Morbin
to
time
watch
if
the
they do a
first one.
sequel.
And then, no.
I'm agreeing to it, so it's fine. It'll be
Sabrina's
okay.
How about we watch in October then?
Maybe.
October? Maybe. I don't know.
That could work.
October
We could also watch a better movie. in
I mean, we
October.
could just like spend our time watching something that we'll enjoy.
I didn't know there was a sequel to 30 Days a Night. What?
You do
Oh,
it
I
for like
think I knew that.
Halloween week. When we're
I think I
together.
knew that. I
But
did not.
I'll suffer for it then.
Absolutely.
I'm not
Maybe
watching that on my own. I'm not
Morbius
watching
for our
it on my
first
own.
watch
If
party.
you want to watch
folks.
it, we're watching it together, or not watching it at all.
I'll watch Morbius again. I'll get it on Blu-ray. I'll support it.
To be fair.
No, why would you do that?
To be fair, I do think if we're going to do a vampire episode, we actually do have to touch on Morbius.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We really do. We
It's-
can't
it's a-
avoid it.
I enjoy it. I think it does the vampire aspect pretty well.
Okay.
See, like he
All right.
looks cool, but like I don't know how the rest of the movie holds up.
The
So,
movie
like,
is the studio is what failed that movie. They butchered it. They did not do a disservice to it. They tacked on a ridiculous end credit scene.
Sony being Sony.
Sony being Sony, yeah.
Sony being Sony. They
all
love
right, if we
to
do a
ruin
vampire
everything.
episode, then yes, I'll watch it. But otherwise, I don't know. I'll wait. I'll wait till then and watch it.
Maybe a vampires versus zombie episode. I don't know. Lots of
Okay.
ideas.
Or like,
Ooh.
yeah, or like, yeah, do that like every Thursday in October. We could do like zombies and then like,
Yeah, I love
Vampire.
good old classic monsters.
yeah, do that for Halloween.
Our
like,
first
Amen.
watch party should be Frankenstein.
Oh
That
man,
is a very fun movie.
absolutely. Which, by the way, chat, we are getting together a watch party thing we'll be doing. So if you guys have any suggestions for movies you think would be a fun watch party to do, let us know. Give us some ideas. We'd love to hear from you. Dracula Untold, I remember that one. Actually,
I still haven't
that
seen
was a
that.
fun time. That was a fun time. Yeah, there was a Frankenstein movie not too long ago, wasn't there? It was like I Frankenstein or something of that nature.
I Frankenstein. They always do something
I
Frankenstein.
like the monsters.
Oh, hey, we're getting monsters soon, right?
I'm very excited for that. I think my dad's gonna be excited about that.
I was not sold until the promo hit. When the promo hit, I was like, okay, all right,
What
I
are
was
you
wrong. I was wrong. Huh?
What is it that we're getting?
Monsters, Rob Zombie.
Oh, Monsters.
The
I thought you said
Monsters,
some
yeah.
Monsters, and I was like, are they
I've
coming
watched
together? What
the
is
show
this?
with my dad so much. My dad loves it.
I was
Yes.
highly concerned when it was Rob Zombie attached to it. I was.
know. After everything with Halloween, I'm like, oh.
I was like, I don't know.
I mean, Rob
wait.
Zombie has such a style that either you love it or you hate it. I don't think you can really be in the middle on Rob Zombie's
Yeah,
approach.
yeah. I think. I mean, there's.
I
been-
kind of was in the middle about it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either.
Well,
I don't know.
have you seen anything aside from Halloween that he's done?
What else has he directed?
House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects. With the first Halloween, he was very much held back by the studio. So he made a Halloween movie. Halloween 2 is the Rob Zombie Halloween movie. And I hate that movie so much.
Yeah, that same.
But-
Thank God you said that. I was like, oh no, not the Rob
Trust
Zombie
me, I'm not
Halloween.
praising that movie. Hate it. Terrible movie. But I like House of a Thousand Corpses, and Devil's Rejects is even better. So
Yeah, I mean, like, I always, like, look, even if their style isn't for me, that's fine. I always admire a director that is, like, immersed in their style, that they know what they want to do, they know what they're going to shoot. I love that. So I love Sam Raimi so much. I guess I was kind of worried about what direction he was going to take Monsters, but now I kind of see where he's going and the vibe he's going with it to, in like, you know, use his style with the source material. I'm pretty excited now.
Yeah, he's going classic. He's paying love to the monsters. Surprisingly, I didn't think.
Yeah, I know. I was like, is he gonna make this like super like
Edgy?
Yeah, edgy.
Yes.
Yes, edgy is the perfect word. I'm like, is he gonna like just kind of like go super edgy?
As long as he
dark?
doesn't like ruin it, we're good.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, nothing can ruin the OG show. It's always going to be amazing. He could spit on it if it's not good, like I think he did to Michael Myers. But
that was
in the second one. I liked the first one, but
it was rough. It was rough.
Hasn't made a horrible movie yet, my friend.
I
disagree greatly.
You know, not all of them can be winners. But I am glad you brought this up because we're planning a, you know, Stranger Things special coming up at the end of the month, leading on to the second part of 2. We're gonna be rewatching it. It's gonna be really cool. So it's gonna be really, really fun. That is already in the works. We're way ahead of you. But I don't know.
You see, I would have almost agreed with you, but Halloween 2 did come out in 2009, so I can't agree.
Romero Zombie, classic.
Romero is the king of zombies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolute classic.
We should do a Living Dead episode.
Oh, I would love to.
All his zombie movies.
Yeah, no. Absolutely. There's like nothing else iconic, classic. I can't really say too much past that when it comes to Romero.
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have The Walking Dead or Army of the Dead or all the zombie movies that we like today.
Completely set the standard to where we are today.
Zombieland, yeah.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. Yep.
Zombieland is like my favorite like zombie movie.
How do you feel about the sequel, Sabrina?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I don't know, like I definitely would say like I probably still like prefer the first one, but like they're both great. Like it was definitely I don't want to wait. I didn't want to wait 10 years, but it was worth the wait.
Right.
Definitely worth the wait.
Well, Seth Morrison, if you want to give us some zombie movies to watch, to cover, to do a zombie episode,
in the future,
we are open to hear your
I love zombie
your
movies.
suggestions. Absolutely. I mean, 28 Days Later freaked me out.
Oof.
Freaked
I haven't
me
seen
out.
that. But I like Warm Bodies.
It's
Warm
fast
Bodies
zombies.
surprised me. That was
I
a
love
really
that
good movie.
Oh yeah.
That's actually that's like my top 3 favorite like zombie movies.
I can handle zombies until they're fast zombies. Once they become fast zombies, I'm dead. I'm done.
Also, I think Warm Bodies is what Twilight wanted to be.
Oh, yeah.
To throw shots at Twilight. Warm Bodies nailed the young adult monster romance thing.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
You guys
Twilight
talk about vampires and zombies. I like werewolves when it comes to like the classic monsters. Sabrina and I just watched Bad Moon, which is on Shudder. Loved that movie. I think we brought it up in the last episode. Or
it was really good.
That.
Yeah, out of all the classic like monsters, I personally think that being
Werewolf
a werewolf
looked
is
amazing.
Because like vampire, okay, you know, zombie, you're already dead, but werewolf, your entire body has to transform.
Yeah,
that is.
Yeah, I think those are like the top 3 best ones.
Warm Bodies was great, and yes,
Twilight slander.
Exactly.
But I have nothing against the first Twilight. The sequels get a little out there, but I like the first one.
Twilight is such a fever dream, and like you know, I had my like hardcore.
That's
serious
literally what probably Rob says like every day. That wasn't a fever dream. That was actually something I did.
I had my phase when I was younger. I took it seriously, but watching it now is such a bizarre.
Okay, so I was not like one of those like girls that was like really into it because I never read the books.
I was.
All my friends were like into it, and they dragged me to the movies, and I was like, oh, I like Edward, and that's how like I really like started liking Rob. Well, that and like Harry Potter. But now like watching them, I'm like they're not bad. They're not bad, but they're they're not great either. But they're fun
They're
movies.
fun movies.
Yeah. See, this
They're
is
fun
why
movies.
I struggle with rating movies on a like out of 10 because it's so subjective. I can't suggest, let's say, Texas Chainsaw 3D for the same reason I'm going to suggest Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The reason I enjoy those two movies are like completely separate.
Yeah.
Like Texas Chainsaw 3D it's a movie that it's hilarious. It is a hilarious movie
Is it
that
like
I
weird?
quote.
It's
How do you feel about the beginning one? Do you like that one?
No, I do like the beginning, of course. That beginning is really good. I think. Wait, no, was beginning the remake? No,
it's the
Beginning was
prequel to the remake.
Oh, okay. No,
It was good. It was pretty good.
I was thinking about the remake because we were talking
Yeah, I
about
want
it
to watch that in
earlier.
the 3D one. I still have to watch. Is that all? Wait, how many
the
Texas
3D
Chainsaw
one.
movies are there?
A
Like
lot.
7.
I got you. Hang on.
There's a lot, but 3D is ridiculous. But
It's so ridiculous. I love it.
The main character, she's like a she's mid-20s and she's supposed to be like 40 or something.
Yeah, exactly. They have iPhones. It's supposed to be the 80s or something. Like it's like out of nowhere.
It was a very unthoughtful movie.
Yeah, but
it is better than the new one that dropped on Netflix.
Everything's better than the new one.
Better than that.
It is.
Even the first one, I would say.
Oh, that's no contest.
It's just. Oh my god, I don't know.
If someone wasn't a fan of it, I would rather watch that like 50 times over than the new one.
And
ever again.
Sith Morrison, thank you for mentioning The Wolfman. That is one of my favorite horror movies ever. The 2010 one with Benicio del Toro.
We gotta watch it.
Still on Hulu. Yeah.
Hulu has a good selection, actually.
Yeah, we have too many movies on our list. We have to really like kill that list a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Here
and, like
is
watch the movies.
Someone
don't even try to follow along with the timeline of these movies.
For you, Sabrina, these are all the Texas Chainsaw movies, not including the one that just came out. So this is the reference for you. It makes no sense. It's hard. I don't even know.
My favorite actually might be Leatherface.
Okay, the one where like it was the kid and they like broke out and
and they tried to fake you out on which one Leatherface was.
Yeah, that was so cheesy, but not in the bad
weird choice.
It was a weird choice.
I love Texas Chainsaw 2. I think making it a black comedy was such a great choice.
So the original timeline and the reboot timeline, the first one's connected?
They're each yes. So like in the reboot timeline,
you're like,
So you had the original timeline, which was like all the movies they made back to back. And then you had the reboot timeline, which made a prequel as well as Texas Chainsaw 3D,
the beginning,
which is supposed to be a direct sequel to the first one. And then this new one that just came out is also another direct sequel to the first one. So that means we have three. Is
the reboot timeline the last one? Is that 3D?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So now I guess
I thought it was a Netflix one. I was like, why is that on there?
We have Texas Chainsaw 2, Texas Chainsaw 3D, and then Texas Chainsaw 22, the one that just came out, are all direct sequels to the original because
this franchise needs to just take a long break.
If not long break. And
we're getting a video game. Let's just end it there.
I agree that Matthew McConaughey in Next Generation is a great role.
It is a great role.
It is a great role. I think doing the black comedy route and it's going super weird with it was such a good idea. I mean, it was completely different, and I kind of wish they kept up with that.
Mm-hmm. And someone in the chat mentioning Chop Top, which is I'm gonna go the step ahead and say he is the best character of the series.
Oh yeah,
easily. Played by Bill Moseley, right?
I believe so, actually.
Yeah. Iconic horror actor.
Yeah, man. Like, Texas Chainsaw breaks my heart. It really does. It has so much potential, and it just gets beat up.
It gets
constantly.
butchered, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, thank you. It really does. But man,
they took that franchise to the slaughterhouse. I'm done.
That was actually a good one, though.
No, don't give me that.
I have to give him that.
I have to give you that one. I do.
Thank you, Jayla.
You're welcome. I don't. It's
That was
so
bad.
bizarre to me because, like, you know, I'm a Texan. I grew up in Texas, and like as a kid, like there were always rumors on the playground about how Texas Chainsaw is real and where it happened and all this stuff. You know, you kind of grow up immersed in it, and especially I'm from a rural area, and it's a bummer growing up, and it was like, man, kids on the playground had scary
Yeah,
stories.
there's always those like horror movies you hear. Like I heard when I was in elementary school, there was like, it's like someone made up a story. I still don't know if it's true or not. I still think it's like low key true, but I don't know. That there's like a murder like at my elementary school because there was like names carved in a tree and like there's like a grave in
That's
the
dark.
schoolyard.
That is super dark. Man, you know, urban myths and legends and all of that really kind of like, you know, blur the line of what's real, especially in horror movies, and it makes it a lot of fun.
Yes, Leatherface was worse than the new Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
Absolutely, because it took itself seriously.
See, I totally thought you said you liked Leatherface, so I was just trying to be like, okay, cool. The vision, I kind of see it. Okay.
It's an interesting approach when you try to give these classic horror characters a prequel origin story. Like, if you did that for Freddy, I don't think anyone would want to see that.
No.
If you did, I think the only character that needs it would be Jason.
Yeah.
I would be interested in that story. Michael got it, and that worked for the most part with Rob Zombie. And what's funny is on the topic of Jason with this this lawsuit kind of coming to a close, and now the question is, where does the franchise go from here? They tossed around the idea of a TV show for Jason, but because of the legal issues, they can't use the hockey mask. They can't.
What happened with the legal issues?
Use certain names.
Oh my
there was
God.
a lawsuit between the director of the first movie and
like
who
the
else?
original.
Yeah.
And
Sean Cunningham and someone else over who owns the rights to Jason, which is why we haven't had anything for Jason since the video game.
Yeah.
And now
why
there
would
was
there be an argument? Wouldn't it be the first person that like created him and directed the movie?
Well, that is the lawsuit because Jason, the hockey mask, all that wasn't in the first movie. So when it comes to the hockey mask and the machete, like if this TV show gets made, they can't do the hockey mask. They can't give him a machete, the stuff that he's known for, but they can use Pamela Voorhees and Camp Crystal Lake and stuff like that. Like it's trippy.
Why would they be able to use the hockey mask and the machete?
Do you know how the first one ends?
It ends with
Wait, Sabrina, do you know before we say it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go ahead then.
Yeah, it ends with Jason coming out of the water and getting Alice, right?
No, that I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen all of them.
He doesn't get his mask until the third movie, which the lawsuit, that's where the break is, the first movie versus the sequels.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason isn't...
So yeah, he doesn't wear a mask the first two, right?
And he's not an adult in the first one.
Yeah.
So if they do this TV show, it is based on the first movie, which means no adult Jason, no hockey mask, no machete, none of that. It is bare bones Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Like one of my favorite things when I'm like, you know, when I'm introducing new people to horror and like taking to like the old stuff is like their reaction to the original Friday the 13th, because not a lot of people know it. That's all. I was like, wait, hang on, does she know yet? Because
no, I do.
And the Scream franchise played up on that.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's one of my favorite fun facts, and I still throw it out. And like, even to this day, people still get messed up by that question. It's
so
great.
why would they have it? But I just don't understand though. It's like, why is there a lawsuit if like he didn't technically wear the mask in the first two movies? If they're going to base it off of that?
Well, it's over rights. The rights issue. Like who owns the rights to the franchise, and it's divided up based on the sequels.
How long has
People
this
that have the
like
same
lawsuit been in
issue.
effect?
Yeah, they had a lot. Huh?
How long has it been in effect? This lawsuit?
It just ended, and it's been in effect for years, and it just ended. So now, it's not a lawsuit, but it's an ongoing trying to come to an agreement on what to do with the franchise. Because now people want to make Jason movies, but the holder of the franchise doesn't want to. Which, like, you can understand that. You make the first movie and you don't want it to branch off into space or whatever weird places they took Jason.
Yeah, that was weird.
But at the same time, he's such a good character, and fans want to see him again.
When it comes to
I
this,
want to see
because
more
it's
of him.
like I part of me it's like, no, I get it. It's something that he created. He put a lot of effort into it and all that kind of stuff. But also part of me is like, I don't know how I feel about holding back other people's creativity if it's something that you don't want to do.
Oh yeah.
And preventing people from adapting, your artwork into something new because you don't want to further it. So it's something that I see both sides on it. I haven't really got down to figure out which side I'm like on yet. It's just very confusing. It was very frustrating, especially with the game.
I've seen videos here on YouTube that break it down better than I did just now. If you want to know like the genuine details and kind of where they're trying to go right now. But I can say that there will not be a Jason project in the near future at all, just because of all this that's going on, which sucks because I love Jason, and we haven't seen him on screen since 2009.
Yeah, I believe. It is a major bummer, honestly. But I hope things get to go forward in some new creative avenue soon. I mean, I thank God that Evil Dead had some similar issues, but they were able to. That's why Army of Darkness is titled Army of Darkness as well.
Yeah, they had a lot, and they worked all of them out for the most part.
So,
or they just made do with it, like in Evil Dead 2. They just reshot a lot of it.
Yeah. Shout out to Evil Dead. Love you guys.
Sometimes if that's the case, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. They rolled with the punches.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a mask, it just can't be the hockey mask.
Yeah, exactly. And it can't
you can have a knife, just can't be a machete.
It's kind of like Gotham. They couldn't call him the Joker, and they couldn't give him a purple suit and green hair, so they used lighting to change it. They gave him a green trench coat and a purple suit.
Just give us NES Jason. Full on colors.
Yes.
Also, thank you so much. We love that you're enjoying us and writing your reviews. You have to come on for an episode sometime. Absolutely. Man, this might be my favorite episode so far because it's just filled with so much stuff to get into.
Oh yes.
Oh my gosh. But we do.
I just love that it's a based on real events episode, and we've broken down aliens and zombies and now Voorhees.
Realistic things.
They are. I have met Jason before. I'm surprised I am still alive. Actually, I have a picture and I want to dig it up. If I find it, I'll post it. I was at the theater when Friday the 13th, the remake, was out, and they had a big cardboard cutout of Jason like this, and you could put your head in a little
I
slot.
love that.
And I have a picture with Jason holding. I need to find it.
Thank you so much.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen the remake?
No, that picture.
Oh, I don't have it. I need to look for it.
Do you remember? Oh my god, this is such an off. Oh man. Okay, wait. So like in that same era, do you remember Prom Night, the Prom Night remake?
Yeah.
Do you remember the theater standees they had? Where you can open the door and it was like all freaky. Oh my gosh, they used to have some like really cool interactive movie theater stand-ins. Where was it? Hang on.
I don't remember that.
I have to find it now. Prom Night is I don't know why I remember this. Hang on. Because it used to freak me. I'm pretty sure it made noise. I could just be dreaming that part though.
God. Or when you go to like a Spirit Halloween and all those animatronics are there to greet you when you walk in.
I worked at a Spirit Halloween. And I was one of the people that helped put up the store. Fun fact for you.
I wanted to. That seemed like a fun job.
It's a lot of work. You have to basically 12 hours a day. You would be going into the place and they just send in trucks full of everything in the store, the shelves.
Yeah. I mean, they go all out. It's a seasonal store. So it makes sense.
It was a lot of work, but it was fun. It was a really fun experience. Yeah. I'm trying to find this. I'm not going to be able to find it tonight, I bet. But I'm going to find it and I'm going to bring it to our attention because that's one of the ones I remember. I used to remember there was a lot of cool theater promotions that we haven't seen in anything like that in a while.
Yeah. And thank you, Sith Morrison. That means a lot. That these streams are the highlights.
Oh my god, I didn't see that. Thank you. Oh, we love that. We love doing these. It's
a lot of fun putting these together.
It really, really is. Man. And next week, Blake, Sabrina, would you guys like to tell them what we're getting into next week?
Our topic for next week will be for the upcoming The Black Phone. So we'll be diving into Scott Derrickson's movie specifically, but also Sinister and Black Phone because Ethan Hawke and Scott Derrickson are reuniting for the Black Phone. So Sinister, Exorcism of Emily Rose, maybe a little bit of Doctor Strange. Why? I'm sure he didn't direct this new one because he was going to make it so much scarier than Marvel wanted him to. So it's going to be a very fun episode. And go see the Black Phone because it looks incredible.
I am very excited. Sinister kind of plays into based on real events too, because obviously it wasn't, but man, they made that movie feel
I
like
feel
that
like
era.
he wanted to make a found footage movie, but kind of didn't. So he did both in a way.
I think this is a great way if you want to do a found footage and like make it work well. Yeah. This is a great way to do it because found footage is so hard to nail. It is so hard to nail, but when it hits, it hits. And that scene in Sinister that I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, that one specific clip. Oh my God.
Sabrina has a hard time with jump scares. That literally, like, people always exaggerate, like, oh, my heart was beating so fast. My heart was leaping
I've never seen
out
it.
of my chest. It's a gruesome movie. I'll say that.
To set your expectations, my
Do you
dad.
watch that tonight then? Want to watch it tonight?
Shit, I'll always watch Sinister.
Yeah.
No, because if we're gonna talk about it next week, I don't want to like feel like I don't know.
Oh yeah, we're gonna watch it with plenty of time before the episode next week.
Oh yeah. Geez, my dad, for example, he is someone that when he starts a movie, even if it's terrible, he never ever cuts off. He finishes that movie unless he falls asleep. He always does. Sinister, he stopped it and finished it the next day during the daytime.
Jeez.
Did the Black Phone end up ever getting delayed?
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
It was supposed to come out in January.
That's right. Okay, because I remember like it's that like little kid, right, with the phone.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke has the top hat.
Yeah, I saw the trailer in theaters and I was like, that's not out. Like, so when everyone was talking about it, I was like, that's not out yet?
Yeah.
No, it's
It delayed.
Mike, were you able to see this yet? Let us know. I'm very curious if you're able to get a screening because I haven't told you guys yet, but there's a possibility that I will be able to see Black Phone before our show next week.
Oh, that's
obviously,
good.
I won't bring any spoilers, but I will be able to give you guys an idea of where it lines up. I mean, it's at 99% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, so.
I know they pushed it back not because of COVID or anything like these movies have been. I think they just had so much faith in it. They're like, this needs to be a summer movie. Like, we're not going to dump it in January. So I'm happy they made that choice.
They didn't make the Scream mistake.
Yeah.
It makes me so mad, but it's
Scream
fine.
got buried by some trash in January.
I'm so mad about it, but it's okay. It's fine. We'll live. But yeah, we're excited for next week. We're going to have some fun stuff coming out this upcoming week. A lot of cool plans in store. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We love doing this so much. Thank you, Blake, and thank you, Sabrina.
Always a pleasure.
Great episode. Make sure you follow us at Last Scare on Twitter and Instagram to stay tuned for our schedules, upcoming videos, and a little bit of fun stuff that we do here and there.
Some updates, some polls, what have you.
Yeah. All the horror news is up to date. We have polls. We love just, we're all passionate about the genre, and we love just getting into it whenever we can. But
And it's never too late to get into horror. So I think if you're liking these streams and you haven't seen a single horror movie, now is the time to start.
Yeah, and we will be so happy to guide you in that. It's our favorite. I think all of us agree that we love just showing people the genre so much.
Oh, yeah. If you ask a horror fan for recommendations, they're going to have a blast.
Absolutely. Of course. But again, thank you. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Blake and Sabrina. We will see you soon. Don't forget to follow us for some fun times on our socials, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank
Bye,
you,
everybody.
everybody.